Hello and welcome to Reginaldesq. I'm Underhook and this is my review of the Tier 8 French medium premium tank, the M4A1 Revalorise. That might be how you say it, I'm not sure. Basically, it is a Tier 6 Sherman tank with a whopping great big gun on it. It's one heck of a gun too. Now, I don't own the tank, so when I say my review, I am ably assisted by the nuclear strategist who has provided the gameplay for us. He is known to subscribers of this channel as Ethan. So, thank you, Ethan, for the replay. Now, just having a look here at the armour of the tank first off, you can see it's only 50mm here at the front, or 51mm basically, the whole front of the tank here. The turret is 63.5mm. I don't know why it's flashing colours here, I must have done something to it, but the mantlet is 89mm in parts. Here it's 38mm of spaced armour over 63, giving us around about 157, so you might bounce the odd shot off parts of the mantlet, but other than that, so if you just expose your mantlet, but really at tier 8, most people will punch through that. So it doesn't really have any armor. It's not an armored tank. You wouldn't consider it at this tier. Like, you might get the odd ricochet or something because it has got some nice angles on it if you're using the gun depression, that sort of thing. But other than that, there's not much to speak of armor. So let's get rid of this armor screen here. And now we're looking at the comparison view, and I've put up the tanks I'm comparing it to aren't premiums because I think this tank is a little bit OP, the gun is anyway, and I wanted to sort of showcase that compared to sort of the other tanks, just so we get a bit of a feel of it. So the DPM on this tank is 1828, which isn't, well, it's pretty high. It's not insane, but the best is the STA one with 1920. Next is the Centurion with 1840, and then this one 1828. The worst is the Russian T-44 with 1539. Now, the stats for the Russian tank are appallingly bad when I look through this comparison. Now, I heard that the T-44, I saw Quickie Baby did a video saying, oh, it's fixed now, they've buffed it. So I don't know whether these stats are old or whether this is the buff stats, because if it's the buff stats, I don't know how it's good, but anyway. Now, penetration on this gun is 200mm, which is pretty darn good. The best of the bunch is the Centurion with 226, and that's one of the best features, or one of the good features about Centurion 1, which I'm currently driving this tank, and it's an excellent tank when fully upgraded. It has 226mm of pen, and the STA 1, which I drove a long time ago, has 218mm of pen, and the Panther 2, which I've never driven, has 223mm of pen, so they all have good pen. This one has pretty good pen. The poor T-44 has 175, is the worst of the bunch. Now, I say the poor T-44 because it is a powerful gun, 390mm, 390 average damage per round, which you would normally say, well, that's fantastic. So no wonder it's got 175mm of pen. That's like a balancing thing, right? But our M4A1 premium tank here also has 390 damage, which I believe from both these tanks is the highest alpha damage for a tier 8 medium. 390, but it does it with 200 pen versus the Russian 175. So if you want big alpha damage in a non-premium tank, you've got to drop pen, but you don't have to if you buy this premium tank. That's why I think it's a bit OP. There's a couple other reasons on the gun I think are a bit OP, and I'll show you that in a sec. The other ones, the next biggest, these are in order of, sort of in order of damage of the guns I've put them in. You can see here that the Czechoslovakian one, the TVP, does 320 damage per shot, which is pretty good. It has 188mm of pen, so that's kind of interesting. Now, the others all have around about the 250 to 230 mark for damage, which is kind of more common for a tier 8 medium. And they likewise have pretty much better rates of fire, varying from 7.5 to 8.2 seconds for a reload. The others, the TVP has 11 seconds for a reload. The T-44 has 15.2 seconds for reload, whereas our premium tank here has 12.8, the M4A1. So for the damage it does, pretty good pen, pretty good reload. It's a 105mm gun, whereas the Russian has a 122mm gun, even though it has somehow mysteriously less penetration. But anyway, and the other guns all vary from 105 to 88 75 to 88 mils, yeah. Shell velocity is another thing that's really OP. This thing fires APCR rounds as standard with a 1460 shell velocity, which is insanely fast. And if you compare that to the T44, like I say, if you're going for a big alpha damage, it is 800, which is really poor. So very hard for the T44 to hit moving targets with that sort of shell velocity. 1460 makes hitting moving targets a breeze in the M4A1. Now, the other shell velocity, so the T44 is the worst with 800. Then we've got 900 for the TVP and the T34. The Centurion, one of the good things about it, 1020, which is pretty good shell velocity, but pales to the M4A1. So, what else can we tell you about this? Aim time is just 2.4 seconds, which for such... Basically, we're looking at heavy tank damage from this gun, and it aims in 2.4. With most heavy tanks, you'd be looking at an aim time over 3 seconds, which is really what the T44 has, 3.2 second aim time. The TVP also has 2.4, which is very good. The others all vary, they're around about 2.3 seconds, around there. Panther's a little bit quicker, 2.2. The T34-2, the Chinese one, has a 2.8 second aim time. So yeah, now accuracy, right? It's going to be terrible with that such a big alpha damage. 0.35 dispersion as well. The T44, 0.42. Now, admittedly, these figures aren't going to be very accurate, but still, it's giving you a picture of a kick-butt gun on this tank. The moving dispersion and stuff like that is pretty sort of average, actually, not that great. What else can we tell you? The gun elevation of 15 degrees isn't very good. So if you get caught on a hill, actually, the nuclear strategist does get caught in a position where his elevation lets him down. So we'll see that in the gameplay. It'll give you a bit of an idea of it. But the gun depression is excellent at 10 degrees, as you would expect from a Sherman tank. And that's the thing, the T44 only has 5 degrees of gun depression. So really what you're getting here is you're getting fantastic alpha damage with fantastic shell velocity, with great aim time and fantastic gun depression. So the gun handling of this tank is amazing. Now the Centurion has 10, Pershing has 10, STA all have 10 as well, but they don't have the alpha damage of this tank. So looking down here, the Achilles heel of this tank is actually its speed. It only goes 40 kilometers an hour, which in forward, which is the slowest of all of these. The next slowest is the STA1 at 45, but most of the others are around the 50k mark. 16 in reverse is much slower than the others. The next slowest is 20. So it's a slower tank. The terrain resistances are also not that good in this tank. It's not as the Panther's the worst, but this one's getting there. It's not really good. The turret traverse of 42 though is pretty good. It's about average for a medium tank, and the track traverse of 40 is also about average for a medium tank. So it turns well. The turret turns pretty well, and the gun handling, including the track traverse, because that all helps turn your gun, and the depression, the characteristics of the gun. The gun handling is supreme in this tank. The armor is also very poor. So this is where the T44 is good. The hull armor on T44 is not bad, and the turret armor is fantastic, as is the Chinese tank. As the Centurion has awesome, as you can see, turret armor, 254 mils at the front. The Pershing is a bit not that good actually, but the turret can occasionally take a hit. Same with the Panther. But this M4A1 really has tier 6 armor, and it just is almost non-existent really for tier 8. You might get a lucky ricochet, but that's all. So the speed is poor, and the armor is poor. Everything else is pretty good. What else could we tell you? 1400 hit points is pretty much average for a tier 8 tank. 390 meter view range is kind of average. The Centurion one and the Pershing here have 400. The others all have sort of 380, or the Panther has 390. So does the STA1, sorry. So M4A1 390 is kind of average. The shell cost, interestingly, is 580 per round for the APCR standard rounds. The T44 is 1,025 per round for really crap ammo. I don't know what they were thinking when they did that. So as far as Russian bias goes, the T44 is suffering. But like I say, I'm thinking these stats might be the pre-buff stats. Maybe they're not accurate anymore, and TankCG hasn't updated them. I don't know. Anyway, let's get into some gameplay. Alright, so the map is El Haluf, and it's a tier 8 game, so we're top tier. The nuclear strategist, Ethan, is top tier in this game, and there is an M4A1 Rev on the other team as well. Not too much armor, the other team only has one armor, which is kind of good. He's in a tank with not much armour, so I might take the external view here so I can have a bit of a look at the tank. So as you can see, typical Sherman look, although the turret looks a little bit different with the thinner back there, a bit almost like a Jackson turret. But look at the size of the gun on a Sherman, look how thick that gun is. Oh, it's a 105 millimeter gun. So 200 pen. Now if you use premium shells, you get 290 pen from this gun. But basically it is just a Sherman with a whopping great big gun on it. Even though that it's not fast, you can see he's doing pretty good compared to the other tanks. They're mostly heavy tanks and stuff, so he's still going to outrun a lot of the heavies, but it's not a super fast tank. It looks like it's motoring along. We're doing 36 here on slight uphill. Anyway, let's see how he goes. We'll go into his view again now and see what he's seeing. Oh, and we've got a tank spotted here. It is an LTG, and oh, he's just sitting there. He's in trouble. Nice shot. 300 and what was it? 66 damage. Is well below the average damage of 390 on this tank. Well, not well below, but it's below. He's going to see if he can get a shot on the T-64 here. I probably wouldn't pause here. I would be really scared of pausing just there. But is that tank looking straight at him? 354, below average damage again. You can see he quite clearly moves backwards straight after he fires. Because he probably thought the other tank was going to fire at him, and yeah. Now he chooses not to expose himself too long. Now here we go, T29 who is exposing his tank. 414, first time he gets an above average damage shot. Good shot in the T29. For those of you who own a T29, never ever expose your hull in a T29. The hull is trash, and the turret is fantastic. Now you could get a side shot to the turret. Bit of poor aiming there from the nuclear strategist. He had time, the gun wasn't pointing at him. Should really have aimed at the back half of the turret, but he kind of rushed that shot. But he's not looking at him now, and he gets a good shot in there. Well done. So you can see the gun depression is excellent for fighting this position. This is a very good position for people with good gun depression. Sorry, tanks with good gun depression. People don't have gun depression. People suffer from depression. And there's a Russian tank there. That's not a good spot for that Russian tank. It doesn't have good gun depression. It has to expose its hull to get a shot. So I probably wouldn't go there if I was in that Russian medium. Excellent medium tank, the T-485 though. And he bounces a shot from a T-3485. I guess because he probably hit his mantlet or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, it did. Oh no, that's not a good hole. I don't see any scraps. I don't know how he bounced that. Anyway, we've been stunned by artillery, but don't think we took any damage. No, we didn't. We've still got our full hit points. He's being very careful on exposing himself to too many tanks. Oh, what a bad time to drive across there. That VK3601H tier. I'm not sure what tier it is. A medium, German medium tank. Tier 6, maybe. And not a bad tank, but anyway, he shouldn't have driven across there at that time. That was a gift. So the nuclear strategist is being very careful here just not to expose himself needlessly to these tanks. They're all just waiting for him to pop around. Instead, he waits for someone else to pop around. They shoot at that guy. Now he sees his opportunity. Now he's going to have first shot when somebody pops around a corner. I don't know what happened there. He had the perfect shot. He fired. I don't know where his shell went, but he just disappeared, and the T-34 that popped out in front of his gun gets away with a penetration. So that was a bit of a bizarre exchange. Don't know if he had a ping spike there or what, but he should have come out of the exchange with a hit, and instead he got hit. But he got a good one in there today. I assure he can get another shot in here. Oh, yeah, probably shouldn't have fired that shot. Now sometimes on replays, you don't actually see exactly what the player sees, so he might have thought he had a shot there when he fired. Oh, he's got a shot here. No, I don't think the ISU has the gun depression to hit him there, so that was a good shot. He's got to be very careful about backing around this corner. He could get shot from the other side of the map by tank destroyers hiding on the ridge there. So not a very comfortable spot to be in. If I was him, I would actually press up the hill now and finish off this ISU, because I would be almost certain that ISU does not have the gun depression to hit him. The charioteer has come around the corner, so he's positioned himself well to get a shot into it. Unfortunately, he was also in a position to receive a shot. There's an ISU up there on the other ridge. Oh, someone just missed a shot at him. He's going to try and get a shot here, and here you can see he just doesn't have the gun elevation to shoot at that tank, and that's what I'm saying. The gun elevation is the limitation on this tank, so we got to see that there. T-3485 does not have good gun depression and does not realise that his polar is exposed, and really good shot there. That was a pretty accurate shot, so you can see the .35 dispersion might be correct on this tank, because he didn't even fully aim, I don't think. So for close to medium range, accuracy seems pretty good on this tank. Now that ISU just got hit by arty there, I myself would press up here now and use the marvellous gun depression on this tank to finish that ISU off. But the nuclear strategist is being more cautious than me. I guess, look, he doesn't have any armour, and that ISU has a pretty powerful gun as far as I'm aware. There's a KV2 there as well, and also the KV2 could probably end the nuclear strategist's day here, so he does have to be careful. But I don't see the point in going around the corner here. I would use the hill, where you only have to expose a small amount of your turret to get a shot, rather than come around the corner here, where you pretty much have to expose, you know, a quarter or a third of your tank to get a shot. He is using his teammates here though. He's letting his teammates go first. He's going, no, after you. No, really, you go first. No, I insist. No, really, after you, dear, good gent. Oh, she's on full health, so that's what you call using your teammates, folks. He waits now, the KV2's fired. He can just drive around the corner, take his time and go bang. So, yep, that's how it's done, folks, if you want to know. But look, if you're in a lightly armoured tank, that is really what you should do. You shouldn't, like, if he drives down in front of that ISU-2 there, he's a dead duck. But like KV-90B just says, who cares, and drives around, takes a hit and delivers the killing blow. And look, I can understand that. In an IK-90B, if you're in a map where there's not much camo and there's nowhere to hide or whatever, it's a really hard tank to have a good game in, so he probably just got bugger it. I'm going to do something at least and just drive around the corner and go bang. So that was quite funny. Anyway, but Ethan's had a very good game here. He's done 3,500 damage. That's pretty respectable in a tier 8 tank. And he's shown off the gun depression and the excellent gun here. He's found a green area, and yeah, that gun's not a bad gun, folks. That was a bit of a longer range shot there. The aim time is pretty impressive. Oh, he's found his Achilles heel. The Achilles has just put a shot into him. Only 147 damage, which he's been very careful with his health, so he can afford to take a hit. Cromwell. Now, is the Cromwell spamming gold? Because we all know Cromwell drivers spam gold. And we've been penetrated, and look at that, surprise, it's a gold round, and another gold round, and of course, we have no armour, so he doesn't need to use gold, and he fires again, another gold round. Yep, that's a Cromwell driver. And the game is over. A great game there from the nuclear strategist, and I guess we could give a shout out to his clan, NMBS. Not sure what the BS stands for, guys, but okay. Mastery game in the tank and high caliber. So really good demonstration of this tier 8 premium tank. Looks like the nuclear strategist hit virtually every other tank in the game. No, he's hit 9 other tanks, killing 5 of them. And he's also got some spotting damage on the Achilles there, so wow, pretty impressive. And finished top for his team, of course, with 1,414 experience. That's a lot of XP. 5 kills, 4,194 damage. Wow, very impressive indeed. Let's have a look at the detailed report. 17 shots fired, 15 hits, good accuracy, 14 of the 15 penetrated. So 200 millimeters of penetration, quite good at tier 8. No problems with penetrating other tanks there. One of those misses was that mystery shot at that T-34-85 that who knows where that shell went, and that does happen in the game sometimes. Yeah, 4,194 damage, as we said. A little bit of long-range shooting. Most of it was close, but the long-range shot accuracy held up well. Received 7 hits, 6 of them penetrated. So you just had one sort of fluky one, I think, hit the mantlet. But you can see here, even when you're top tier, the armor just doesn't hold up. The armor of the tank really is pretty much trash. Enemy vehicles damaged 9, destroyed 5. That's really impressive, with 635 assistance damage as well. The earning potential, very important for a premium tank. With a non-premium account, he earned 83,000 credits. 10,000 credits for, there's a little thing going at the moment where you get some extra credits. So if we disclude that, he would have made 64,000 profit, which is pretty profitable. If you had a premium account, he would have made 105,000 profit without that 10,000. So very profitable. Looks like the nuclear strategist prefers to run a standard account and use premium tanks, whereas I'm the other way around. I don't use premium tanks and I run a premium account. So I guess there's different ways of earning credits. The 1414 XP is pretty impressive though. As you can see, I don't think he used any premium rounds at all in the game. In fact, I don't think he had any premium rounds loaded in the tank at all. So he's using this obviously to make money, not lose money. And I really appreciate that, because as you know, I never fire premium rounds myself. So very impressive, and kept the cost down and makes a lot of profit that way. So a great game. Thank you to Ethan, the nuclear strategist, for sending that game in. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more tank reviews, please subscribe to Reginaldesq. And then I should make a blooper reel. I get a lot of bloopers these days. Anyway, as I always say, have fun.